The phone rang just past midnight. That cursed hour when the world feels different, when shadows stretch longer than they should, when the silence presses in on every wall, when even the wind seems to whisper secrets. The voice on the line was trembling. Broken. Desperate. "There is someone in my backyard," the young man whispered. I froze. My heart thumped in my chest. "Can you see them?" I asked. A long pause, then a whisper cracked through the darkness. "No, but I can hear them." "What do you hear?" I pressed. A crunch. On gravel. Slow, deliberate steps. One step. Then another. Closer, closer. Closer. He lived alone, a house swallowed by the woods. No neighbors, no lights. Just him and the night pressing against every wall. Tonight he said the darkness was so thick he could not see his fence. Only black. Only silence. Only footsteps. I told him to lock the doors, stay low, do not turn on the lights. His voice cracked again. They are still here, then a new sound. Metal scraping across wood, something dragging across the deck. Whispered, "Stay on the line. Help is coming." We drove through dark streets, sirens tearing the night open, but the further we went, the darker it became. Streetlights vanished, houses disappeared, until it was just trees, endless dark and silence. "They are." At the back door now, he whispered, "I hear the handle." My heart slammed. "Stay away from the windows, hide." I shouted. The line shook with his breath. Then silence, so thick I thought we lost him. Finally he whispered, "They did not go in. They walked away toward the shed." We arrived minutes later. The silence was suffocating. No wind, no crickets, just stillness. His window glowed faintly a square of pale gold, and in it his outline, frozen. Watching, before we moved, I said, "Make sure to subscribe to this channel, now, and never miss Heart-Stopping. Suspense stories." We spread out with flashlights shaking through the dark. Beams cut across the fence, the shed, the woods beyond. At first, nothing. No sound, no movement, then snap, a branch cracked to the left. We swung. Our lights. Empty. Another snap behind the shed, a shadow darted fast. Too fast. Weapons raised, we closed in. Every step heavier than the last. The beams slid across the shed wall empty. Then another crunch behind us. We spun. There they were. Two figures. Crouched low, masks covering their faces. Crowbars glinting in the beams, they froze. Silence stretched. Then they bolted. "Stop, police," we shouted. The yard erupted in chaos, boots pounding branches, snapping, flashlights jerking wildly as we split to chase them. The first darted left into the brush. The second sprinted toward the fence crowbar, banging against his leg. I tore after him. The beam caught him for a second, then lost him behind trees. Closer, closer, my lungs burned, but I did not stop. Then he stumbled. The ground swallowed him. His mask slammed into the dirt. The crowbar clattered away. I was on him, pinning him down. Cuffs biting my wrists. He fought, twisted, but the steel held behind me, shouting, crashing the click of more cuffs. The second. One caught two. We dragged them back, their bags, spilling open rope, duct tape, gloves, tools no one uses for anything good. The caller had not moved. Still at the window, hands pressed to the glass, shaking. When he saw the men, cuffed, his knees buckled. He vanished from sight. A moment later the door creaked. He stepped out, pale, trembling. I thought I would not make it. He whispered. We told him. "You stayed calm. You called that call. Saved your life." The intruders said nothing. Masks pulled down, eyes full of fury. But it did not matter. The night was not theirs. We shoved them into the cruiser. Doors slammed. The woods grew silent again, but the silence felt different. Not empty, not peaceful, heavy, because that night proved something. Silence can be more terrifying than screams. Footsteps in the dark carry more fear than words, and sometimes one whisper to 911 is the only thing standing between life and the nightmare. Outside your door. Remember, if you are loving this story, hit that subscribe button right now and join this channel to never miss stories that keep your heart racing. Later, the caller told us he never knew if they would have broken in. If we had arrived seconds later, he might not have made it. The shadows of that night lingered. In the house for weeks, every creak, every gust of wind made him jump. Every sound reminded him of the night, but he survived. That call saved him. A single call saved him from the nightmare. Danger is not always loud. It creeps in quietly, slow, deliberate. Steps. And sometimes the smallest act can be the difference between life and death. I remember walking through the house with him the next day. Every corner, every dark hallway felt alive. We checked the shed every inch. Found scratches on the floor, marks we could not explain fully. I told him, "You will always remember this night. But you survived, and that is what matters." Suddenly a window slammed in the wind. We jumped. A reminder that darkness is still around. Always listening. Always waiting. Not forget to subscribe right now and join the family of viewers who love real-life suspense stories that will make your heart pound every single night. Even weeks later, he could hear footsteps at night, sometimes just a whisper. And he knew. That night could have ended differently, but it did not, because of one call. Remember, one whisper can save a life. One call can stop a nightmare. One moment of courage can change everything. If you are ready for more real-life terror stories, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss a single moment. The caller never left the house alone again. Every night he locked every door, double-checked every window. Even the shed had a lock now, and he always remembered to keep the phone close, because some nights the shadows do not go away. Some footsteps do not fade. Some whispers could save your life, if you just act. Subscribe now and never miss stories like this that will make your heart race and your mind scream.